What you're about to hear might change the way you see the world. But before we begin, subscribe to Tony's Horror Stories so you're not alone when the darkness returns. You ever get the feeling that you're just filling space? That your choices aren't really yours? That maybe someone else is calling the shots? That your life feels a little too curated, as though you're being watched or tested? I used to laugh at those ideas. Simulation theory, glitches in the matrix, philosophical musings meant to amuse bored minds. All nonsense. Until last month, when I found the script, not metaphorically, a literal screenplay, typed, printed, labeled with my name, my job, my apartment, my every move, even the things I hadn't done yet. Since then, nothing feels real anymore. Or maybe it never was. It started with a line, a phrase. My coworker said, "Monday again, huh?" With the same smirk, same tone, same timing, 3 Mondays in a row. I laughed at first. Deja vu, maybe. But it kept happening. I noticed more. My neighbor waving at me, always at 7:03 a.m., wearing the same blue shirt. His dog barked twice, then sneezed. Every single day, a perfect loop, no deviation. The barista misspelling my name the exact same way. Colon with a K, even when I clearly said C every single time. Not once did they ask. Not once did they change it. I chalked it up to habit. Routine. But something deeper gnawed at me. The uncanny consistency, the feeling of watching a tape over and over again with no ability to change what was coming next. So I started taking notes, recording times, outfits, repeated phrases, filming some of it with my phone. I needed proof that I wasn't going insane. The patterns were perfect, too perfect, like someone hit copy-paste on my life. Copy-paste on the world around me. I asked my coworker to say anything other than Monday again. He laughed, then paused, as if frozen, his eyes glazed. Then he blinked, smiled, and said, "Monday again, huh?" and walked away. I tested others, asked unpredictable questions, gave wrong names at the coffee shop. I even tried yelling out nonsense in a store, and still the loop repeated. Still, no one seemed to notice or care. Then came the printer. One night, around 2:13 a.m., I woke up to the sound of my printer. That old hum, that rhythmic feed, but I hadn't printed anything. It wasn't connected to anything. No computer open, no documents queued. Yet page after page rolled out. A screenplay, and not just any screenplay. It described me, my job, my apartment, my routines. But then it went further. It described what I was doing right then. Interior kitchen, night. He picks up the paper, confusion turning to dread. I was standing in my kitchen, holding that exact page. I flipped the next few. It described my reaction, my pacing, the thoughts racing through my mind, word for word, even things I hadn't yet said, hadn't yet thought. And then, a line I hadn't yet spoken. "Who's writing this?" I muttered, then immediately realized I'd just said it aloud. I dropped the pages. They fluttered to the floor. I stared at them like they might start burning on their own. The next morning, I didn't go to work, just stayed home, closed the blinds, didn't speak to anyone, didn't even check my phone. The printer whirred again. Interior bedroom, morning. He panics, deviating for the first time. I threw out the paper, ripped it to shreds, unplugged the printer, took it to the backyard, and set it on fire. But the next day, pages appeared under my door. Folded, precise, the same typeface, the same format. I began disrupting my patterns, walked in random directions, took different streets, ignored familiar faces, shouted gibberish at street corners, didn't sleep in my bed. But the script kept adjusting, always catching up, matching, rewriting. X2, street corner, night. He screams, hoping chaos will break the cycle. It was hopeless. Every attempt to break free, documented before I did it. That's when I saw them, across the street. Neutral clothes, still, watching, too still, like mannequins brought to life. They held a small notebook, wrote something down, looked up, smiled slightly. And then the world responded. A bus passed exactly on cue. A pigeon took flight. My phone buzzed with an email I'd been waiting for. The timing was too clean, too choreographed. I ran toward them, dodged traffic, reached the bench, gone. Just a notebook left behind and a pencil still rolling in place. Inside, notes, scribbled in tight lines. Dialogue I hadn't yet said, actions not yet taken, scenes from my next week, including this moment. And at the bottom, he reads the notebook, realizing it never ends. I booked a one-way ticket, no return, paid in cash, left my phone at a train station, bought a wig, burned my ID, anything to vanish. I reached a remote cabin. No internet, no electricity, no mirrors, nothing familiar. But on the second morning, a bird tapped at the window. It held something in its beak, a folded page, typed. The next scene, I ran, I hiked over ridges, slept in caves, lived off berries for weeks, maybe months. But wherever I went, the script found me, slipped under my sleeping bag, sewn into my coat pocket, typed onto the back of leaves. One note simply said, "No matter where you go, you're still in the story." So now I'm telling you, because maybe if you hear it, if you read these words, you'll start noticing it too. Ever wonder why some moments feel staged? Why you say something and someone finishes your sentence? Why you dream things before they happen? Why you feel like someone's always watching? Maybe you're not the main character. Maybe you're not even supporting. Maybe none of us are. We're just filling in the blanks until the writer decides to end the page or until we learn to take the pen. You made it to the end. That says something. If this story made you glance over your shoulder, leave a like, subscribe to Tony's Horror Stories, and keep a little light nearby while you still can.